Okay, you buy Royal Classic handbags. You find them in downtown Hamilton. Do you know where? Corner King and James. They located there, and they have a fine selection of handbags there, and also a great online and offline selection. So if you want a good, clean, personal service, make sure to visit Royal Classic Handbags in downtown Hamilton. They have the best selection of handbags out there. Not only handbags, they sell shoes, running shoes, brand new jackets, sportswear, travel accessories, um, some discontinued purses for ladies who may like to make sure of buying one, and fine pieces of luggage that you can enjoy on holiday to Christmas. So if you down so you're there, make sure to visit Royal Classic Handbags. This video on YouTube brought to you by Royal Classic Handbags. So make sure to visit them. They'll be more than glad to sell you a wonderful item from their store. And just tell them Jerry Jackson sent you there. Anyway, so that's word my sponsor. Well, anyways, so I'm gonna go on to video today. I'm talking about two things today. Actually, I'm talking a few things. Number one, Pat Bond going away. I had to cut it short. I had to get the doctor orthopedic shoe. Well, I got them. They're Apex shoes. Now, Apex are pretty good shoes and all that. That I can admit. But also, I want the M&M, the Urban Explorers, or UK. They did some urban exploration through Romania recently, and some of the places I visited. And from that, I learned a whole lot about castles. But Dracula, all Pete Dracula Castle, I learned so a lot just from watching them. I didn't know too much about it. I know a bit, but not too much, Well, today I should say actually a castle back in old medieval times. It served as it served as the community social service agency for the castle and the town that it sat on. Not only did it serve with that, it served at a courthouse too, the judge, and all that. Also, it served as knights served at law enforcement. Like there weren't no police back in those days. There was a lot of law and disorder. There was no centralized police force. But knights and castle kept the law and disorder under wraps. England. Even today, a castle, even seeing a picture of a castle somewhere, either on YouTube or someplace, you know what? It captured my imagination because I can only imagine, being in with their time, I can imagine what it would be like in medieval times, how it would be, king or prince medieval time. That don't make man. You think about medieval type of ruling was designed in a way that you never broke the law again. So, example, the poor, he brought in there, for example, and he says, I need money, I'm poor, I can't afford to, blah, blah, blah. The king will turn around and look at that person, look at that. King makes a decision at that point in the castle, whether to make that person a knight for life, or whether to whether to give him a couple give a few cents to go on his way, which is pretty much common. Which sometimes a person really loyal enough to the king or queen, they're made a knight on the spot, basically. Now, and given some shillings to go along with, and pence or whether currency time to go along with. Now, or given food in the castle, one or the other, until living in the side of town. But if another thing with the castle is no matter how beautiful it looks on the outside, and how wonderful to see your turrets and all those little things. You know what those little things were for? when back in the old days, the knights had to protect the castle all costs. Matter of fact, they would have to protect it at all costs, no matter how you look at it. I mean, if you were to get through, make it past the drawbridge into the center yard, even before you get there, you'll be treated with barrages of arrows by the hundreds and thousands. And chance you make it through those barrages of arrows are very limited. Very limited indeed. But chance you make it through getting into a castle, chance you make it into the king's chambers, if you weren't invited, you weren't asked to be there, you don't know what happens. You'll be not only be treated with arrows, be treated with flaming arrows at that point. The flaming arrow will burn you to pieces, burn you to a crisp, basically. It will. So many people never got that far. There's some people out there who are really nasty out there and broke the laws. What happened there is the knights will go out and make that arrest, of course. Once that person arrested, he'd be brought to the castle, where he will want to go where the king and the lord will sit there and trial him right there in the castle. And the king may say, okay, this person has to remain in the dungeon for life. In the dungeon and feed him for be fed from death mute. Or king takes him to the dungeon. He's fed by bread and water in dungeon on a day-to-day basis. Matter of fact, in some cases, king may order that person chained to the wall of the dungeon, and that person remain there. In some cases, the person is really bad. They don't even want to feed them. Won't even feed them one thing. They'll actually take them to a room. It'll be an open door, pitch black. You go thrown down the chute, and you will land on the bottom. You have your legs broken, of course, but the impact will destroy your legs. Impact didn't kill you. Die of starvation eventually down there in water, because there's no way you can get out of that dungeon. You're stuck. Once you're there, you don't get out. You're stuck. That's a dungeon. Once you brought in, you are stuck. You get no food, no water, no nothing. Matter of fact, you die down there, and that's it. And they will plug the top of it, so they'll keep the smell of the castle, of course. But the ones who were chained up in the dungeon, they were kept there for a very long time. Matter of fact, in some cases, they were taken off and put on rack and tortured a little bit, just to make it matter worse. And sometimes that too. But there were some very bad kings. In medieval times, it was designed in such the laws were designed for you can't go out and reoffend again. Today, you lock somebody in jail. What happened? A couple months later, back out on the street, reoffend, back in jail you go. Now, in actually medieval time, when a church pastor or a lord of church says, you will be king of this castle, then you are king. There's no way you can get out of that. And it's actually in the church itself. There's not any way a person legally get out of it. Matter of fact, it's the most part of medieval law that's still based in the still runs and it's still in effect to very, very day. Believe it or not, it is in effect to very, very day in the law books within Rome. So when the Roman Vatican's electing a pope, for example, they'll say to you, say to me, Sarah Jackson, you're going to be Pope Francis, you're going to be next pope in Rome for the next many years. There's no way I can legally get out of it. There's no way I can't get out. I will have to do a job, whether I'm fit to do it. And I know I wouldn't even do the job of hand of being a pope, see? But it would probably I would like me a lot with God. Now, let's suppose Westminster Abbey says to me, Sarah Jackson, you're going to take Elizabeth's place on her throne. Now, there's no way I can get out of taking a place on the throne because there are two ways why I can't get out of it. And that means that, yes, I have to go there. Yes, I have to take her place on the throne. Is he died? And that's true, you know. Can I do the job of being a queen of hands if I have? I don't know. It'd be a tough job. I mean, I would have to go. I mean, it would be a permanent change of life for me, and I don't think I would do very good at it. So that's how even they in the church, that how it works. Even in doesn't matter. That's how a lot of the old, and even in today's modern day churches of today, like Anglican today, it's still that way. It doesn't matter how long they do it. You know, managers get paid that day or so, but it's sort of it's one of the oldest medieval institutions about. But even in medieval times there was like people like Count Dracula. My God, this guy, what he did, what he had had knights and lances. He used to take it people who went to say he doing things bad. He would literally would impale his subjects on an impaler and leave them to impale them and till they die, like they're literally shove a lance, long lance up their rectum, so it kills them. They drop dead. I mean, that's gory detail, but that's very true. They're actually impaled his people who would not want to go with him. Ones that were loyal to him, when they get impaled, they were allowed to that. But even when they were loyal to him, there weren't very many people at the time that were loyal to him in Norania. So think about it. He impaled, and there were other kingdoms down there. There was another kingdom over further up in Norania that didn't like him at all. They wanted him dead. They wanted to kill him. But of course, you know, and the people lived around Dracula Castle, they were angry. They wanted him. They did not like him because they were against him. But they were keeping that. The movement at the time was kept under a table. The Count Dracula found out, they will take the person and will impale them on a impaler. Yep, or put him in a dungeon, leave him to die. So Count Dracula one day got up. He had to. That time he found out a huge number of people within the town around the town were gonna take him out, take overthrow the castle. But what he did was one day he got up, he got on his horses and buggy, he took off from there. They ran out of the kingdom, took off from that Dracula kingdom, took off to the next king up the road, up the kingdom. We went to the other castle. What happened at this other castle, this? Well, I went to the king, and the king said to him, well, did not like him at all. He wanted him dead. Or what did he do? He ordered a knight to take him to a dungeon, chain him up forever. But he took him to the dungeon, was tortured and brutally tortured. Then they chained him up and they left him there, sitting in the dungeon. So he actually died chained up in a dungeon, basically. Took over it. Some didn't, but it was pretty good. But it was that too. But according to that I learned just from watching the urban explorers in the UK there. I seen their videos. Called, you know, M&M. Those guys are pretty good urban explorers. They're the very best urban explorers I come across. I do someone on my side, yes. But I don't do a lot of on the side. I do organized exploring, yes. If I come across them in England, I do come across them in England, and they want to I may do some urban exploring with them in England, maybe, but I probably not, because they do very dangerous places. These places they do are so dangerous that they're the most dangerous places you ever want to go to. Like they do explore things. You don't realize that, but you guys, they put their life on the line for people like me don't have to. They'll go into a mold-infested hospital. Whereas these are places I wouldn't even go into myself. I would film up on the outside and that's it. I don't go in unless I have written permission to be so. And if I have asked, there's an old asylum in London, Ontario. I did ask about it if I can get permission to film inside the asylum. Well, the answer is no. Sorry about that. but I will film it from the outside of down London. There are a few places on my radar I want to do in London as well, like a couple dead malls. I got 2 dead malls I got to put on my radar. Sherwood Forest Mall is on my radar right now. Well, Westmount again. Both are dead malls. I'm going to get them on and then go from there. Now, let's go on here a little bit there. Anyway, so I'm going to do what's called today. What interesting. Got most big shoe, the Apex. They're very good shoe, very high-end shoe. Now, of course, Apex, they have a fine line of shoes here. Like, I'm going to show you on something here, YouTube. If you're interested, this Apex right here. If you're interested in Apex shoes like this, go to the website. You look them up. You can find them on the website. You can order any of those fine line of shoes here. There's a fine line here you got, and you can go to apexfoot.com, and right here, and you can buy yourself a nice pair of Apex shoes. Now, they are very good shoes. Their things can be expensive, but I highly recommend them. They also ship from the U.S., so the price will be in American dollars. Anyway, so that's one thing. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to say one thing right now. Not only when you look at medieval, look at the law, people didn't break the law to medieval time because they know if they broke the law, they're going to be sent in dungeon or be dropped in a dungeon for the rest of their life that they can't get out of, and will be fed nothing, pitch blackness forever. Now, in the medieval time, they used to use a torture on people. This kind of torture called a mask made out of iron. It weighed about, cast iron, believe it or not, it was about 800-pound mask. Those were almost very heavy masks. They put it on your face and they come down, look like a head on a knife. But the thing is, they put the rivets, once the mask cooled, the rivets are put in. Once the rivets are in there, you can pull a mask, but like it ain't coming off. And they lock you in a cell, and you in that mask for a very long time. Matter of fact, sometimes some cases you're not on a mask or day you die. Did that to people who are mentally ill. And you fed them by deaf mute will feed them. A deaf mute will feed them too. You get somebody a stone deaf mute, they'll feed them too. And the phone is ringing here. Ah, boy. Oh. Hello.
Hi, a friend or family member who recently traveled with Marriott recommended you to receive a complimentary
Oh, fucking hey.
For more info.
Oh, sir, you're gonna give me a fucking vacation. Fucking pit bastards. India got these fucking telemarketers. Sure, that's another thing. I see them and the number no longer in service. So anyways, I don't go for that type of stuff. Oh, see what I mean? That's what I mean. Doing YouTube, people do call that telemarketer. There's another damn thing that pissed me off too. Well, anyways, sure. I know nobody oh, sure. I don't believe you. I don't believe that at all. Anyways, that's a telemarketer. You're not getting my business. I mean, not stealing money on my wallet. Because what they do is they steal money for wallet, then they don't deliver. How do you like that apple? So if you're going to think about, don't fall for scams like that. I get them all the time. Do not call scams. Then they're getting worse. So what I'm going to do here is actually a mask iron with very crude torture. Matter of fact, they're heavy, they're bulky. It was even done about a few years back. They actually did that once on somebody. They want to see, the first want to find out the mask iron can function onto a person. How to get somebody who willingly volunteered to be put in a mask iron for a week, according to medieval time tradition. So got somebody willing to do it. That person did do it. And he said it was heavy. He can't see into it very well. Matter of fact, he said that he can bump his head and he won't feel it, but it's like the death who fed him for had to be fed by somebody else who by mouth they can't put food in, have to be fed a certain way. But they found in 1 week he wanted that off a week. He took it off. He said, I never want it on again. Well, they tried that experiment to see what happened to a person. Would it sort of made a person feel like not, a part of society. Once they got here again, a part of society. That was experiment tried on somebody. We did read about that on the Web of Science at McMaster campus. I read some Web of Science. But believe it or not, that torture, that form was used in medieval times to teach people, to sane people who are mentally ill, and what's common practice. And all through history, they used to take a person mentally ill, they lock them up in an asylum, and they kept them there. They never get out. You will never, ever get out of the mental health asylum. You remain there, and you remain there forever and ever and ever. So, so remain there forever and ever and ever, and you don't get out, and they fill you with tons of drugs that will make you go like that. So that was what they used to do. Now today we don't do that today. Today our world got more calmer, more civilized. But you look at medieval time, those punishment were designed for you to never do it again. I mean, that's kind of where I look at punishment, crime and punishment. They're all designed. You look at the search, and even today, the search today to follow that one rule. And the church say you're going to be a king, you're a king, you don't get out of that. Church say you're pope, you don't get out of it. They say you're going to be cardinal, you can't get out of these things. You are going to be, and the church say me, I'm going to be a freaking queen the rest of my life. And you know what? There's no way I can get out of it. I will have to do a job at hand. There's no out. And it wouldn't be, something I do not know how to do. I don't think I know how to do that. It might take me a couple of years. It might take me about 2 or 3 years to figure out how to be a good queen, but I probably would if that ever happened to me, but I don't. One, it probably never will happen to me. The only thing I think will happen to me is maybe I might be asked to be a lady in waiting for a queen, maybe that's about it, But they don't do that much today, but, it's still out there. They still do it at practice anyways. It's still sort of, you look at, back then, in medieval time, people broke a law, you broke it once, you never break it again. Believe it or not, if we look at that, a punishment designed so you never do it again. Now, believe it or not, in such a way you never break it again. Now, that's how they handled things in medieval. Today, somebody goes out, murder Mr. So-and-so. So that, boom, boom, person dead. Well, go to court. A judge looks at him, puts gavel, my judge who worship looks at him with his form of medieval term called worship, or a judge called the worship or my lord. They look at this guy, and they look at the crown. The crown is like the king's, usually knights of the king, people loyal to the judge are crowned eternally. So they would do, and they will look at that person, and they will weigh the evidence, and then they find out that person, you sentenced to 10 years in jail with no out release or parole. Boom. Person do 10 years, get out of federal pen. What do? They walk in again, and they go bang, bang, kill somebody else. The judge see again, say, 10 years didn't smarten you up, I'm going to give you 20 years. So then 20 years ago, do it again. Bang, bang, back in again. And then they die at old age, see? That is called, that is self. See? Boom. So there you go. Or a person, I'm going to walk into a no-field, I'm going to rob Frank no-field factory. I'm going to say, okay, the money. I'm going to do it. Go to no-field, host him up. The police are called. The police take them in custody. They go in front of the judge. The judge says, 6 months to think about. Case dismissed. 6 months later, go back and do it again. See? That the justice system we have today. If you're medieval times and that happened, boom. That person won't be back over a few months. That person will be actually sent to a dungeon, be locked up, and will remain there for many, many years. Remain there till the day he dies. That, see, you never do a crime again. That is punishment. In the United States, you look at electrics or capital punishment. Well, that designed in one way for you never reoffend and never do again. Once you're lethally injected with the stuff, can you reoffend? No, you pretty much. Your life is taken away as a punishment. Believe it or not, that's very true. And that really makes a very strong deterrent for not to do a crime. But the bottom line today, if I look at crime and how it is and punishment, I'm going to say, if you can't afford the time in jail, like if you can't afford the time in jail, you can't afford the time. See, if you can't afford the time in jail, you can't afford the time, don't do the crime. If you can't afford the time, don't do the crime. So, plain and simple. If you can afford the time, go and do the crime. But if you can't afford the time, don't do the crime. Can't afford the time, don't do the crime. So, remember, if you can't afford the time, don't do the crime. If you can afford the time behind bars, do the crime. But you can't afford the time, don't do the crime. Plain and simple. Now, the many crimes and elder abuse out there. So if you do elder abuse, nothing, hidden crime, they pursue people, nobody will elder abuse. But you know what gets away because nobody knows how to report it. People who do that, try to go please report it. The family turns around and attack the one that doing the elder abuse. See, that I've seen a lot of happening around here in this building, being a senior building. Woo. So, anyways, you can't afford the time, don't do the crime. Plain and simple. So, I gotta say, blog is officially over, and this blog is to say stuff that I want to get off my chest that bugs me over time. Okay, blog over.